All right, everybody, welcome. We're finally here. All right, my name is Srivan,
My name's Brenda.
Roshan.
and we are releasing the long awaited, much anticipated, highly loved, world famous three meal spiel to the masses. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing a coffee with us, sharing your time with us. And I guess we could just kick off into talking about the real star of the show itself. So we're finally here. We were talking about it for a long time now. It's been a bit of a passion project for us, but I feel like we're settled. We're set up, thanks to Roshan here. And we're ready to start. So we are here to talk to you guys about our passion, one of our biggest passion, um, cooking, right? We gotta cook, we gotta eat,
And make coffee. Don't
and
forget
make
that.
coffee, and make coffee, and pesto.
And pesto.
But it's something that we set as a challenge to ourselves, right? As we kind of walk into full adulthood. We're three grown adults, let's be clear. But it's a standard for us to be able to make delicious meals and learn along the way, which I feel like it's a bit of a passion for us, right? To not just cook, but to learn.
Yeah. Pesto. Pasta. I mean, cooking is like, I like my dumplings. I like my pasta.
Okay.
There's a lot of things you can do. But the thing is, I'm not that good at cooking. I'm okay. Let me start.
Now he's a
back.
pro chef.
No,
I
I'm a
am
beginner.
okay, but only at Nepali stuff.
Okay. I feel like I'm locked into the Indian stuff. So I'm with you there.
So
And I think that's one aspect of the podcast that's the reason why we created it, to be able to like learn new cuisines. And it's called Three Meal Spiel because we're gonna have three different takes on each type of food. So
Exactly. And I feel like, so Roshan, kick us off with what is it that brought you into cooking and what do you bring to the
Yeah,
chef's table?
that's a good question because I don't really know. It just happened.
Yeah.
Like back in college, I would cook just to cook
Yeah.
and just to have fun. So in college, it was my cooking days. That's when I like cooked heavily. Every single day, it would be a new thing I would try. Mostly staying with like Nepali spices and all that, and all like that cuisine. Then I got slowly into pasta pesto, and that's my love.
The signature dish.
It's the signature dish. Like it's very basic.
Right.
It's very basic, but it's the quickest to make, and it's like
And
the
it's
best.
good.
Yeah, and it's good.
I feel like the basic stuff, it's easy to screw them up though.
Yeah, it is easy to screw them up. And I made pesto once, and it was not pesto. It was like it was the worst thing ever. So I buy pesto. So maybe I don't even cook pasta pesto. I don't think that counts.
Okay. But we're going to learn.
We're gonna learn, and that's what got me into cooking because you can try different things. It doesn't have to be like the same thing, and you can just mess around with the ingredients. Like you don't got garlic or any ginger, or whatever you don't have, you just supplement with something else. So
Kind of like she did with the maple milk.
with the maple milk, like I'm a milk guy, and oat milk, not oat milk. I just got into oat milk, but milk, whole milk, and then you supplement, and then it
Yeah.
tastes good.
experiment.
Yeah. And that brings us to what Vrinda here brings to our table, right? Which is an angle that me and Roshan, I feel like, are heavily, heavily missing. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I bring the vegetarian slash vegan perspective as well as the non-alcoholic perspective to the group. Just like to put a spin on normal recipes that you guys might be eating on the daily, and just like you said, supplementing, experimenting, trying like other forms of protein, like tofu or like soy meat or something like that. So
I feel like that adds a challenge to run of the mill cooking that I feel like me and him don't really have to face, right? So
yeah.
how has that impacted your day to day?
Yeah, it's been a huge impact just growing up. Like, obviously, like my mom would cook, and so I would just eat whatever she made. But once I got to college, that's when the struggle began of trying to actually make food for myself. That's not just Indian cooking, and so like even like going out to eat was like very hard, like trying to find options and things like that, and then just like trying to make like popular dishes that everyone loves. Like for example, a lot of Asian food is like kind of harder to make vegetarian style, but you can just supplement with tofu. So I've been able to like experiment with that and be able to incorporate that into my diet.
See, and that's crazy because I can't cook anything that does not have meat in it. Like, that's my main thing. It's meat. So having that vegan and vegetarian perspective, it's a game changer. I have to
Yeah.
learn some of this stuff.
Well, you
never
did make the momos one time with the tofu,
the-
and they were great.
All vegan meat, so it's
Oh.
the same cooking, but
Yeah.
So
that's
you
the
had that
closest.
element of familiarity.
Yeah, it was the same thing, but different.
I've never even cooked meat. Like I always worry that I'm gonna end up like undercooking and just food poisoning myself. So
Wait,
I never touched
You
it.
don't cook meat.
I never have cooked meat, but I would if I could.
Oh.
Huh, that's
So that's what
interesting.
I'm bringing, a complete newbie perspective, because I don't think I've used 90% of the ingredients you two probably have.
I mean, the spices are probably the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. But then that's similar to what Rinda was talking about. It was just remembering, okay, my mom used to do this, 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 and this. So now everything I make has all the same shit that she would put in pretty much every dish.
Mm.
But I don't feel like I'm cooking. I'm just replicating. Shout
I
out
see.
moms, by the way.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout-
But okay, we've talked about a little bit about who we are, but why go through all this, right? We could just go get a coffee somewhere, or you can make us a coffee at any time and talk about the same stuff. So what's something that you guys feel like this specific format, reaching out to people like this, would bring?
I mean, y'all get to see how bad or how good we are. So we're bringing things to the table, but we don't like. Honestly, you've had my cooking once. You've never had my cooking.
No,
So
I've
I could
never
be
been
terrible,
fortunate
like-
enough.
Nah,
Yeah.
he's good. He's good.
It
He's
could be
good.
so bad, but like it's making us force ourselves to like cook as well. Like I don't know, I cook decently, but if we start cooking a lot more, we're just gonna have more recipes, more things to do.
Yeah.
It just keeps happening. So that's like the best part of it.
Yeah, and I think what Roshan said, like the relatability aspect of it, like since we're new at this, I'm sure you guys are pretty new as well, and so you can kind of relate to us and put this on like while you're cooking one night and just listen along, and you'll see us mess up. So if you mess up, you feel okay about it too. But yeah, I think that's one reason. And then like learning new skills. For me, I have zero knife skills. As they know, I have one paring knife that I use. And so like I want to get better at that. And that's another aspect that we thought we could bring to this.
Yeah, a paring knife. I just want to emphasize that, a paring knife.
Listen, it works. My mom has done it her whole life. I'm just saying.
Shout out moms again. This is a Mother's Day special.
Indian moms go crazy.
Yeah.
South Asian, but
But yeah, I think messing up is, I mean, maybe if we don't word it like that, but I feel like that's a big part of how I've learned to cook. Just I've thrown away way too much food that I've just messed up at the last minute because of timing. And that's what I struggle with the very most. I just get impatient, right? Okay. 10 minutes cooking time, I get impatient in that 8th minute and everything just vanishes into the sink and I order Taco Bell. That's my go-to. That's my
Taco Bell?
comfort, right? What about you? What are you thinking that this podcast has you churned through these recipes?
I mean, like I said, I'm gonna learn new stuff, but I'm not gonna order out anymore. I've been ordering out a lot, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I love my chicken sandwiches. I have to have them all the time. Yeah.
Popeyes is best.
Yeah, Popeyes is pretty good.
But
Yeah.
what skill are you hoping that this podcast
Probably cutting skills. I want to cut fast, like really
Oh,
fast.
shit.
Like,
Okay.
like you see the like master chefs and how
Yeah,
they
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
dice everything, and they don't cut their finger or anything, right? They just Goes so fast, everything's so nice. Like I can cut, but not fast. And then
Okay.
I also want to learn other cuisines, and that's
Okay.
like a big part is straying away from what I do, and just
Ooh,
like
okay.
opening up to things I'm uncomfortable with cooking wise. Because I like, for example, I hate tofu. Like I hate fish.
Dang.
But if I
Vrinda's
could
about
cook
to
some,
beat
I
you the
know,
fuck
I
up
know.
right now, dude. The look in her eyes.
I mean, I used to hate tofu too. You just gotta learn how to make it right.
Yeah, and that's
you
the
know?
thing, learning how to make things differently, and then
Yeah.
actually try new things, and that's like the main part.
I agree. You can teach us pesto as well. So
I told you I made really bad pesto.
Listen, you can perfect it.
Dude,
I
we've
mean-
hyped this pesto up to such an extent.
I mean, it's decent. It's decent.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
No, it's pretty bad.
Talk to the people. Tell the people that your pesto is 10 out of 10.
It's no, it's not 10
Okay.
out of 10. It's 0 out of 10. It's coming up there, maybe 1 out of 10 now.
We also have cool like episodes plans. Like I'm not gonna give
Yeah.
too much away, but one like just out there idea we had was like an ice cream episode or something where we learn how to make gelato, sorbet, normal ice cream. And so it's just kind of like just learning different types of things that we wouldn't do on a day-to-day basis. I think that's what's cool about this.
Yeah.
We're
And-
also gonna bring coffee corner.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
Talk about
absolutely.
That's gonna happen. So I'm a huge coffee guy. Like I have, I don't know, like 5 machines, a lot of stuff just to make coffee, and that's like the thing that I'm gonna bring, coffee, because I make every single type of coffee. I try to make new different styles. I don't use instant coffee. I use
Okay.
real beans.
Light
Instant
flex.
coffee is okay, but I use real beans, and that's what is gonna happen. You're gonna see some crazy coffee content coming soon.
Okay.
And also, I think we talked about making like drinks. So like whether that's
Absolutely.
alcoholic or non-alcoholic. So not just food, we have different things going on.
Yeah. And I feel like you two have such a like signature thing that you're doing, but I'm just the wild card here. Okay.
Which is
s-
great.
You two have known me for a couple months now. So what would you say that I should specialize in? This is the learning moment right here, okay? The first learning moment of the show. What would
Mhm.
you say? You know me, Srivan the man, the person, the king, the legend, the humble, humble.
Well, don't you make like
co-host.
the best like fried rice,
the best pancakes?
the best
Yeah, he's never
pancakes? There you
pancakes.
go.
And this is an open challenge to anyone who would like to throw down, right? You know my name, you know my face. You see me in the streets, you tell me that you make better pancakes than I do, and I'll call you a damn liar because you don't. And that is what we're gonna open up with, I think, right?
The breakfast episode.
Yeah, the breakfast.
Ooh, okay.
Look out, guys. Episode 1, breakfast.
We need some name suggestions, so if you guys got any good ones. But what would you guys say drove us to start with breakfast? I mean, other than the obvious
First meal of the
symbolism.
day.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. Like I know what I'm doing, and I'm not gonna spoil it.
Oh,
I've never done anything like that.
We gave Roshan a crazy one.
Like a crazy. I don't even eat breakfast, dude.
Breakfast is one of my favorite meals. I'm just gonna say, I love it.
I usually skip it, but I feel like when I cook for myself, my pancakes the best in Charlotte. It's strange. It just motivates me to not skip meals, to not cut corners anywhere, and I feel like that is another big point in why I started cooking. Because the second you use all those resources to make something yourself, I feel like you're almost compelled to give it your best and learn as much as you can. But yeah, wait. You tried to escape that. What are you making for breakfast?
Well, we can't reveal it.
Can't
right?
reveal it yet.
But it's a twist
Oh,
on a pancake.
oh.
So.
Pop
Saying.
your guesses in the comments.
Wait, the whole episode is
This breakfast.
twist on pancakes, but
Oh,
I don't want to say too
You
much.
be
A
kind of
few
spoiled
more
a little of
details
it,
sprinkled out, okay.
but it'll be good. It'll be really good.
Gotta get them excited.
But first meal of the day is usually paired with the first drink of the day.
Coffee.
Are we expecting a coffee quarter this first episode?
Oh, that's a good idea. I think we have to.
Right?
Yep.
I think we have to. Bring out the coffee.
Coffee showdown? Dalgona versus
Oh.
espresso?
Oh. Instant coffee versus you'll
Listen, bro, if
be.
you're as good as you're saying you are, you got to be able to beat it. And I'll
Yeah.
be the judge. I'm easy to please, and
You gotta blindfold
yeah,
me.
exactly.
That's also another element that we thought about bringing to the podcast is like
Yeah.
competitiveness, you know, and having like special guests, maybe having them try our creations, like, and blindfolding them, and or like keeping it anonymous and seeing like which ones they like the best or most authentic, you know. So
Yeah, I think so.
it'll be fun.
We have some pretty discerning judges, I feel like.
Yeah.
Sitting
Yeah.
in there.
It's not gonna be. I mean, we will judge the food as well, but we're also gonna have some guests judge it, and that's where it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
We get
Sure.
aspects from other people, not us being nice to each other.
Right, right.
Or be harsh critics.
But outside of the judges, the heart of the concept of this, we bring our audience to the table and share 3 meals with them, right?
Mhm.
So, what would you guys say kind of motivated that? What was the point of saying, okay, let's bring in this whole other person into our personal lives, into a meal, something very sacred? What would you guys say?
I mean, it's 3 different styles, 3 different ideas,
Yeah.
and 3 different people that bring so many things together
Yeah.
that having them all there forces you to get out of your comfort zone and get into something new. So I think bringing all our different styles and everything like that,
Yeah.
where we're sharing a meal, like you said, a meal is super important. Like, I want to eat food, and usually I just want to eat my own food because I'm a good chef.
Okay,
Chef.
okay.
I want to eat my own food. So having 3 different styles shows you and brings up what can happen when 3 different chefs. Are we chefs now?
Yeah.
We're chefs
Why
now.
not?
3 different chefs
Fuck it.
bring something together.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people, when they live alone, you know, when they're first learning to cook, like they're usually eating alone. So I feel like the whole dining table concept of like having you join us at like during the meal is so that you don't feel alone when you're cooking or eating. So just another little bit.
So I guess the idea is join us to learn, to explore, to interact with us as we cook, but then also sit down with us. Let's enjoy the fruits of our labor, right?